Hello everybody, this is Tim here again, here another review, this time for Marvel's Inhumans. Now, as far as this goes, I heard a lot of bad things about this. I have no idea why Marvel actually released, I believe they took the first two episodes and, made it into a movie almost, and, released it in IMAX, and made people pay to go watch this in IMAX. No idea why you would do that, why they thought this was worthy of an IMAX viewing. That blows my mind. Uh, Watching this as the full season of a show, I will say that this probably would have worked better as a movie though. Just taking the whole full season and just doing a bigger budget movie out of it. I could actually see something here to where this would have played smoother. Um, because one of the biggest weaknesses of this show is the low production values. This really doesn't feel like a Marvel show, like an MCU show. It feels like a lower budget CW show with really low production values. And the CGI for this big space dog named Lockjaw, I like the concept of the character of a big space dog who can teleport people to different places. The CGI for him is really poor, really poor. It completely takes me out every time he shows up because it just looks really poor. The characters, as far as they go, they're like a royal family of basically mutants. This feels like a discount version of the X-Men in some ways, who live on the moon and for some reason can never be discovered, despite the fact that they have a whole city on the moon, which is kind of weird. I forgot why they say that they can't, or why they haven't been discovered or whatever. But the main guy has his name Black Bolt, and if he speaks, he has super breath or whatever, super voice that'll just obliterate stuff just by talking. Um, and he has a brother named Maximus. And every time I heard the name Maximus, I kept thinking of Gladiator, Russell Crowe. I kept wanting to go, Maximus, Maximus. But that actor who plays Maximus, he does an all right job. Even the guy who plays Black Bolt does good. It's just, well, he doesn't speak, so he just does sign language the entire time. The chick who plays his wife or whatever, Medusa, the character Medusa, she's okay. Most of the acting is kind of passable to okay, not really terrible. It's just that the production values on this look really cheap. And just the story itself, it has a lot of flaws just because of the inherent fact that the characters we're supposed to be rooting for are these upper, rich family of royalty who have a class system where they treat lower level Inhumans or whatever as just worker bees, and just has them working in the mines to do labor while they live in a rich palace and everything. So it's that's not really you're not really making me like these guys. And granted, that's part of the arc. That's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to give them a little bit of an arc to where they realize that this place that they live in, Atlantia or whatever the hell it's called, I believe, that their system, the way they're doing things, does have flaws. But when the brother is I want to take over and get rid of the class system and everything and make everybody equal and all that, and you're well, I mean, he has a point. The way he wants to do things, what he's wanting to do is better than what they have on this planet, or on this moon, I mean, in terms of their community. Of course, the flaw is that he basically, what it really is though, is that he feels like it's his right to be king. He doesn't really care about helping the people or whatever in the city. It's more that it's just that he just wants to be king. He just wants to take over because he has no mutation. He's just a human basically who was born into this inhuman mutant family, I guess. And so he just basically wants to take over, just to rule, because he feels like it's owed to him, because he was dismissed and everything as he was younger and all that, and he was treated differently because he had no metahuman powers. You get where the character's coming from. Kind of reminds me of a situation like Thor and Loki. You get where the character's coming from, but at the same time they make him so, he comes off so crazy and self-serving by the time you get done with the show to the final episode. You're it's impossible to be on this guy's side, and by default you have to be on the side of the Inhumans because they're just better alternative than this dude, even though some of what he's saying is true. And that's part of the weakness of this show, is that even though while the Inhumans characters, while they go on a bit of an arc, especially the character of Medusa, to where she starts to realize that, yeah, our system is fucked up, I need to do better, we need to do better. While they're going on that, before we get to that though, the characters as they are, they're somewhat annoying because they kind of got this motto of I'm royalty, my shit don't stink, bow to me type thing going on, and it's just kind of annoying for a lot of the season. But yeah, they pretty much go to Earth. The brother Maximus pulls like a coup or whatever and takes over the place, and they gotta eventually make it back and save the day or save their people. But the whole place is like blowing up. The dome that protects their place on the moon is shattering because Maximus has like some kind of program thing or whatever linked to himself to where um it's gonna like destroy everything if Black Bolt doesn't let him like keep ruling Atlantia or whatever. So obviously he doesn't really care about his people. He just cares about his own desires. And then by the end, Black Bolt like imprisons him in this bunker with a years and years supply of food and water or whatever and all that, to where you could just live in there for decades, and just imprisons him there while the dome collapses, and he'll be safe in there, but he'll never be able to get out because Black Bolt imprisons him in there by blowing some rocks or whatever and trapping him in there. And then they rescue the people by taking them to Earth, and that's kind of where it ends. Like, well, what are we gonna do now? And now we're on Earth, and that's where it ends. So in a way, it does kind of come like pretty much. It feels like it has a beginning, middle, and end. Like like they could have done more with this going forward, but at the same time, it also does kind of feel like you could just stop here in terms of the Inhumans or whatever. I mean, like, it feels like a full story, I guess is what I'm saying. But of course, they obviously put him here to set him up to do more with them with other movies and other properties. But they never did because this got really bad reviews and reactions. But I will say, I do think they could have brought these characters back with these actors and done some more with them in other movies and stuff. Like I said, they eventually brought. Well, I mean, they eventually brought the dude who played Black Bolt back. I believe. I believe he was in one of the alternate universes in Doctor Strange. Multiverse of Madness or whatever. I believe he was a member of the Illuminati. So they do eventually, I believe it's the same actor. I do believe they bring him back, but at the same time, I mean, they set him up. They might as well have used the characters going forward. But yeah, overall, this was bad. The production values in this are just really bad. It looks like a real cheap CW show. The acting, the chick who plays Medusa, she's okay. The guy who plays Black Bolt, he's good, but he's just a sign language. He never speaks, so you don't really get a lot from him. Overall, from 1 to 5 stars, this would be a 1. This is a bad show. It's not good. Is it the worst Marvel property thing I've seen MCU wise? I would say yes. Yeah, it's the worst. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you again.